attracted to people that are really smart.
You're attracted to smart people.
Like when you have like an emotional connection.
Oh, sapiosexual. That's cool. I've never heard of that before. How about the people who do it with the trees? I don't know what kind of sex. Hello to all the hair besties in the land. I am here with Ariana.
Hello.
Our artistic team member, and Stephanie. She's back.
I'm back.
All right, you guys remember last time? This time we're gonna do some superpower colors on her with coral. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Are you down for anything?
I'm down for whatever. Let's do this. Anything.
Anything and everything. Let's get started. As you look at Stephanie's hair, it's just a little bit of routage here. Her natural hair is about a level 6. It's very ashy in tone, so Magnamate is perfect. And you're gonna use 20 volume. And remember guys, use the dedicated developer. You're gonna mix it 1 to 2, right? So you did 50 grams of powder.
So we'll do 100 grams of the 20.
All right, so you guys, I always mix it with a whisk. I think it's good to have one with a rubber coating on the outside because you don't know how the lightener or the bleach is gonna react to it. And whisk it away. Okay, so we're gonna put our hand condoms on. Gotta protect your hands. Last time I had to teach her how to put one on.
Well, I think you're the one who breaks them though, right?
I do, okay? They need to make one like Magnum, okay? You see these titties? We got our Magnamate mixed up. Ariana, scoop it out. I keep it off the routage lightly. So you can see here, we're just kind of reaching that demarcation line. We're gonna do this throughout, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, we are back with Stephanie, and as you can see, she's lifted, right? We did tone her hair with Misty Mauve and a lot of clear. So keep in mind, we are gonna put charcoal here at the routage to create a shadow, but what happens?
On pre-tone, do you have the chance that it could go a little blue? So just keep that in mind if you do pre-tone what the charcoal can do.
So let's share our formulation today. We're gonna introduce Cosmic Coral. So this is part of the Superpower Direct Dye, but we are gonna use some of our vibrant pastels as well.
We have charcoal.
Okay.
And we got Lavender Lust with the Arctic Blue, Lavender Lust on its own, Pink Diamond, and then
the Cosmic Coral, finally! I'm gonna go right down the center of her head. Okay, I'm gonna take a triangular section here. Right when you see the occipital bone starts, that's where you wanna start the triangle, right? So this area, we're gonna go from charcoal to the Arctic Blue Lavender Lust mix and to the Lavender Lust on its own on the ends. Keep in mind, guys, if the hair is only lifted to a 9, Lavender Lust will just smoke out the color and give it more of an icy tone, because what do we know about violet tones? It cancels out.
it cancels out the yellows.
Right? So that's why it's so important with pastels, you have to put it on a level 10. And this whole section from the front of the face frame, I'm gonna do a big giant triangle, right?
I love that you're doing this, by the way, because I feel like a lot of time when people work with direct dyes, they tend to just slap it on and have no like artistic.
Really?
Yeah.
You feel that way?
I feel that way.
Yeah, I think that artistic placement is so important. It's a key point to knowing how to trace your pattern when you go back. Don't you agree?
And not only that, but just like knowing where you're placing these things can really create like your sculpting.
So take a look at this section. So it's a whole triangular block. So this whole area in the front here, I'm gonna go from charcoal to a little bit of pink into the coral. And then on the top middle section here, we're gonna go from charcoal to lavender Lust into Pink Diamond and barely tipped it out in some areas with the Cosmic Coral, so that way there's a transitional blend versus all of a sudden there's a separation. So we're gonna repeat the same section on the other side, and then we're gonna get started. I do it for you. Okay, all right, so we're gonna start off with using the Vibrant Pastel Charcoal, okay? So we are gonna outline to define this section. Now, if you get it on the other hairs, don't worry about it, it's gonna spread. It doesn't have to be deliberately like a root color, right? You can drag it and smear it down together, so don't worry about the perfection. So we'll lift the section up, and I'll have Ariana kind of outline the bottom. I find that this helps you kind of have a cleaner application, if you will.
Yeah, you can move through it, you know which part of the hair you're tackling first.
Okay, when we outline to define our section, it's just a cleaner application. You're able to section it and control the triangle, because once the product is on the hair, you're able to like spread it out, move it this way, and you have control. Now the charcoal does have a little bit more pigment than the other Vibrant Pastel because it's designed to smoke out any of the other pastel tones. You can add it into the blue to create denim. You could add it into the Pink Diamond to create a mauve. You could add it into the lavender lavender to create more of a softer lavender tone. When using it on its own, I feel that the charcoal looks best on untoned hair. Otherwise, it's gonna look kind of bluish. Bluish. I say bluish. Make it up my own bluish. You guys know what I mean. Okay, she has a little bit of like some baby hairs here. Okay, so make sure you get that in too. I find that when you hit the baby hairs, it hides it because like if you put like a bright color right at the routage, the baby hairs will stand out and it almost look like breakage.
Yeah, and we're not about that.
No, we're not about that. So when she turns her head to the side, take a look at this, how we kind of just feather it down. What this does, it creates a concave motion to your eyes, right? We know that no one's gonna see your hair underneath, but what if she pulls her up in the ponytail?
Exactly. And then you have that beautiful sweep of that depth, and it contours her.
Contours.
Yeah, it contours.
It creates motion, right? So the next formula we're gonna go in with is gonna be the lavender lusk mixed with the Arctic blue, okay? The Arctic blue is very, very potent. So you'll see me use my fingers and spread the charcoal from the roots down, right? From the rootage, just drag it down, just like that, okay? Now I'm gonna place the blue with the lavender, overlapping it. Okay, so now we're gonna get a mesh sheet and we're gonna place it diagonally. Place it right under there so it's nice and clean, right? Leave the tips out for the lavender lusk formula on its own. Okay, so the reason why I go root, mids, and ends all together is because I feel I don't have to wipe my gloves again. Because had I have, gone from mids to ends, I have to wipe each time
constantly go back and forth. At this point, the charcoal sat on her roots this whole time, so when he goes back in to swipe and blur, most of the pigments sat in there, which I think is huge when you're doing any direct dyes to know.
Absolutely. Now keep in mind, the reason why I chose to go blue in the back, think about blue. Blue is the darkest color on a color wheel, guys, right? So dark, compressed, light expands. The reason why I put cosmic coral in the front, because cosmic coral is the warmest, right? And what do we know about warmth?
It reflects.
Right? And the cool thing about pastels is that it's forgiving. Like if I accidentally go bloop, like paint that on there, it's okay because we're gonna go back in and charcoalize it and apply the lavender over it. It's gonna be okay. Don't hurt yourself over it, right? I'm just gonna repeat till I get to the end and then we're gonna hit the tips with the lavender lusk. All right, guys, so now that I'm down on the ends, I'm gonna decide to alternate between the pink diamond and the lavender lusk, okay? Because I can. I'm just gonna drag that into it. I want to melt the colors into each other.
You almost want to not know where it's coming from a little bit.
Yeah.
A little mystery.
A little mystery. So here I'm gonna go in with just the lavender, just on the ends, okay? And then the next section, I'm gonna go in and use the pink diamond and just massage it through. Make sure you penetrate all the way through, guys, because the thing about direct dyes is there's no ammonia, it doesn't expand, so you have to use your hands and literally push the direct dye into
What it touches is what it
permeates.
Yeah, there you go.
It permeates. Oh, I'm spitting on you, like permeates. what it touches is what it penetrates. Which one do you like better, penetrate or permeate? Did they
Kind of like penetrate.
I took some pieces a little higher, but if you spread it out, you'll see that some of the blondes are not penetrated all the way through. See that? I'm gonna take advantage of this situation here and push the pink deep as I can, so that way it creates more dimension inside the core of this lavender Arctic blue area that I concocted up. So I'm gonna do this till I reach the end, and then we're gonna get started on the top. All right, so now I'm on the second triangle in the midsection, right? I'm gonna put the lavender a little bit higher up, right? And I'm gonna take my brush, I drag that charcoal down the strands, and you'll see how it just kind of blur the lines, right? So now that I'm heading on to pink diamond, you can see that the parts that the lavender goes lower, I'm dragging the pink diamond all the way through the ends. But as I start to transition and move closer to her front areas around her face, some parts where the lavender is higher, I'm gonna leave a little bit of the tips out because that's where I'm gonna put in the cosmic coral. And that way you get a transitional blend as it sweeps from the back into the front. If you just, inject the lavender with the little pink overlay, it just merges the color seamlessly, right? So don't try to be so sectional, like, oh, let me put the pink here so it won't go up here. No, just grab that lavender piece, put the pink directly over it, drag it up, and blend it all the way down. So I'm not gonna put the cosmic coral in until after I apply all of the pink. I'm gonna leave the ends out just like this, just drag the pink. Oh. Okay, my hair, fix my hair. Oh, fix my hair. Is my hair okay? Ooh. All right. All right, the moment we've been waiting for, cosmic coral. So we're gonna put this on her very ends. Now I know that's only on the tips, but remember, warm colors really pop. So even if you do a little is a lot. I'll show you here. Let me just get from the bottom. So in the bowl, here is cosmic coral. Okay, so I'm gonna put on the tips, right? But I'm still gonna blend it up, right? This is important that you blend it up. But you see how I just kind of just merge it together? Don't be afraid, right? Just bring it all down so it all marinate and blend together. See that?
It already looks so pretty.
Look how pretty that looks. It looks so pretty. Over-directing it and holding it at an elevation, I find that when it drops, it blends. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then I'm gonna hit it around their face. All right, so now we are at the front of Stephanie's hair. As you can see how I blended in the charcoal and the pink diamond, the lavender lust into the cosmic coral. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do that right now. So what I do is I place the pink diamond on first, and we're gonna drag the pink diamond as a primary base for this one that you'll see here, because I really wanna make sure that you see more of the lighter, warmer colors around the face. So I'm gonna separate some of it. And then as I get closer around the face, I wanna make sure I pivot a little bit and make sure I let the cosmic really pop around that face frame right there. Because I'm gonna do what we call color overlay on top of color while it's still sitting and processing on the hair. And I find that you can create some of the most beautiful colors doing it that way, right? Okay, I'm gonna take the lavender lust I still have in my bowl, okay? I'm just gonna smudge it right over the top of the charcoal and the pink, and just kind of vertically blend it down, right? So that's just gonna create like a in-between transitional color. So you have to make sure that you can get underneath too. You don't have to, but I find that it creates like another dimension, an unexpected dimension that makes it blend just that much more. And while it sits and marinate, what you will notice is that the heat from her body kind of just submerge the two tones together, so you don't really have to push that hard.
It's almost like when you do your eyeshadow and you have, you know, the cut crease, or you have a highlight and you put some, you know, shine in there. You're creating different dimensions. You can create a deeper eye socket. You can give different looks. So this is just taking it to hair. I
love that. I love how you compare it to makeup. I don't know why we never think about that when it comes to hair. We just want to slap the color on.
Yeah, you're like, just get it on and rinse it out. But yeah, you can really make movement in the hair.
Now I'm going in with the cosmic coral, just on the ends, and you'll see me just kind of merge the pink diamond into it. Don't be scared to bring it together. I'm just gonna repeat this as I move up. But Stephanie, you know, last time you guys saw her on my YouTube channel, we talked about her being asexual, right, Stephanie?
Yes.
So teach us, because I didn't know all the hair besties were like so like, you know, like, oh, she's asexual. There's so many asexual people out there. So I think that you could be the voice of people who are asexual.
I think asexuals are completely underrepresented in media. And it's interesting because you can't exactly fit all asexuals into one box because there's so many like different types, I guess. Obviously the standard definition is no sexual attraction, but there are asexuals that aren't aromantic, and your romantic feelings and your sexual feelings are two different things. So you could be asexual, not wanting to like be involved in a sexual relationship, but you might still want to date or like kiss or cuddle or whatever, and that's fine too.
So you could still be in a relationship, you're just not having like a sexual interaction.
Exactly.
Like less physical, more emotional.
Then what's wrong with me? I haven't had any interactions lately.
And then some people might think that they're asexual, whereas they might just be demisexual.
Demi?
Or, yeah, so
like
that's...
demi-color, demisexual. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Tell me what that is.
So basically, demisexual means that like you are only attracted to people that you have a strong emotional connection with. And then there's also sapiosexual, which you are attracted to people that are intelligent. You find intelligent.
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah.
So what am I?
Oh, well, that's for you to decide.
That's your identity.
Yes, nobody can decide your identity except for you.
Hey, she said it. It's the truth. You know, well, I was like, we got the, what we call it, a trifecta here. We got a heterosexual, a homosexual, and an asexual.
Yes.
But now we need the demisexual.
Yes, and the savior. We need all the sexual. There's people that are fluid out there, so that means that...
Fluid sexual.
Yeah, well, it's not exactly called fluid sexual, but their sexualities can be fluid, meaning that over time, like their sexualities change. So, I mean, you don't have to stick to one label, but if you do,
I don't know if I can ever want to have interactions with Ariana in that way.
I love you, but
I love you, Ariana, but I don't know if I want to.
this is the interaction
Well, you know,
we have.
if we were to have babies together, Ariana,
My husband might be confused.
yeah, that would be true. You could be my surrogate.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
We're very good friends.
I really want to have kids, honestly, but I don't know if I would be a good father. Do you guys think I'll be a good father?
You would be a great father.
I think so.
I really want kids. It'll be a
And your
different...
babies would have amazing hair.
Oh, they would. It would be another journey in my life. I was thinking about it, but I just don't know if I would be good enough to be a father. Do you think I would be?
I definitely think you'd be a great father.
I think I'm ready. I'm like turning 37 this year. So I think it's that time in my life, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I should. I mean, because it's a huge responsibility. I want to be the best for my kids. I mean, I know I have a dog, Mimi, and I take good care of her, but I just really want to be sure that I could be the best. Let her be free and have her identity. Her, he or her. Okay, we're gonna process for 25 minutes and we'll be right back. I'll just look at you.
Bob.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are done with Stephanie's hair. Oh, Ariana.
I am very excited. This is the most beautiful, like, delicate.
It's like
Seashell.
opal.
Yeah.
A seashell? Opal?
Yeah.
Right?
Same thing.
I mean, we utilized the vibrant pastel and incorporated in with our new superpower, cosmic coral. And the cool thing about the coral is that it's not just stereotyped to be like, oh, orange, per se, but I feel like it has that soft, delicate, iridescent tone.
It's very wearable. Mm-hmm. It's almost naked.
Yeah, it has like a nude beigey feel to it. And the cool thing about that, I've never seen it in a direct dye before.
No.
So that's the thing I like about it. And I feel that with superpowers and superheroes, every hero still has a vulnerability. You know,
Exactly.
there's every now and then
They don't always have to be strong. They have those days where
we all have those
We all have
days.
those days.
Humans, superheroes, mutants, whatever. We all have that time when we just feel a little delicate. Stephanie, I know you need to voice your opinion on this.
I love it. It's definitely very unique. I feel like a unicorn. And it's kind of ironic because with me like being asexual and like that being like 1% of the world's population, it feels fitting.
I want to be asexual with you. I'm just gonna join the asexual club. How can that be? Can you put your powers on me and turn
I'll
me?
try to get you a membership, but there's no guarantees.
Well, you guys, join the fun. Try the cosmic coral. It's gonna change your life. It's wearable. That's the thing.
it's so wearable. It's beautiful.
I think that's the key
It's like
thing.
strong and powerful in its own way because it's so delicate.
Sometimes your strength is in your vulnerability, right?
Exactly.
And I think the most important thing is we're breaking the stereotypes, because a lot of times when we think of these colors, people always think they're not wearable, they're for, clowns, or they're for punks. Do yourself a favor, try it. I love you guys. Click thumbs up. I'm gonna leave links below so you can stalk Stephanie and Ariana and myself. Love you guys much.
You shimmied in.
Okay.